Welcome to Hot Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. I'm your host, Lauren Holland. Let's welcome our guests, shall we? All right, we have Brandon, the Mount Vernon youth pastor who comes up with dumb ideas.
Yes, that's
We
me.
have Miss Kelly Jacobson. Everybody give it up for Kelly. We have Miss Lee Holtz. And we have the second idiot on the stage, Stephen Holland. All right, really quick before we get started, in 3 words or less, tell us how you are feeling about tonight, Brandon.
Scared, regretful.
That's way more than 3 words.
Scared?
Regretful, and ashamed. So,
All right, Kelly, 3 words or less, how do you feel?
Bamboozled,
yes, that's accurate.
shaky,
Yeah.
2 is fine. Okay. They probably need a dictionary for most of those words. Miss Lee, how do you feel?
Nervous, hot already, and I don't know what else. Confused as to why I said yes.
Confused. Yes, I like it. All right, Stephen, tell us how you feel.
Lee took mine. I was going to say, I'm already hot.
Okay. 3
Ooh.
words. There you go.
Ooh. Terrible answer.
Okay.
All right, so are we ready to get started?
No.
Who's ready to see your youth pastor and everybody else cute?
Wait, let me put the milk on the table first. Wait, can I say something? Just want y'all to know, every one of you who voted that I was not going to make it through all 10, you are a hater, and I hope that you fail a test tomorrow at school. I hope
voted that Brandon
you
would
studied
fail.
and you still fail.
Just
So,
me?
there you go.
All right, we're going to start with sauce number 1. Hayes, if you could put us sauce number 1 on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
It is the classic hot sauce, garlic Fresno edition.
Are y'all eating the whole thing?
And on the heat scale, it's a 1 out of 10.
Come on.
So any weenie should be able to do this, right?
Mine just touched number 2.
Eat that wing,
Not
Brandon.
bad. It's like,
That's good.
I'm showing my color. Okay. It's not bad. Who else does this part? Only 9 more to go. You got this. Shut up.
We need background music, like on the real show.
we ain't got no music. Sorry.
It's very like musically scored, like very classy. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, our first question. I'm going to start off real serious. How do we know Jesus is real? Brandon, I'll let you kick it off.
Huh? So
Please
there's,
don't chew with your mouth.
there's a lot of
with
things
your
that
mouth.
you can point back to, Christ being real. One is the fact that Christian scholars, historical scholars who are atheists, whatever, no one looks and says that, or looks at the life of Christ, look at the history of Christ, all the documentations that say that there was not a guy from the city of Nazareth that was named Jesus. A lot of people actually look to the Bible as a historical reference point to help understand that time frame. So Christian scholars, non-Christian scholars, all look at history and say, okay, there was a man from Nazareth who was named Jesus who was crucified for for what he believed in and what he was preaching. And so that is a well-known, respected fact to everybody else. So I'll start there and say that we know for a fact. Now, people from that go off and say that, no, he was not the Messiah or whatever, but we first have to understand that there is a God. It's not a fictional character we're talking about. This is a real man who walked on this earth, and where we go from that as Christians kind of springs from there. So that's my opening statement.
Good answer, good answer. All right, Kelly, what would you like to add to that?
I would say for me, I would say it's not a bad thing to have questions and to experience doubt. Just because we're Christians doesn't mean we don't ever experience doubt. And I think that for me, when I am struggling with doubt, I ask Jesus to just show up and to show me that he's real. For me, that often looks like just his reassurance or his guidance. Yeah, so I think for me, the best proof is just my personal relationship with Jesus and interacting with Jesus.
That's
I
good.
like it.
Good answer.
All right, Lee.
Well, for one thing, that the Bible is one of the most historically backed up texts that we have in history, like Brendan said, so that's even people who aren't Christians will admit to that, so that's easy proof. But also, like she said, the way that you really know personally is just by walking it out and just testing your faith and going through it and seeing that he shows up when nobody else does, and that in your darkest times you know that he's there, and that's further proof for yourself. And you can't get that just by talking about it. You have to actually put in the work and build a relationship by yourself by reading the Bible and talking to God about things all day, every day. So that's what I would encourage you to.
Good answer. Like our little sharing section.
Remember, these are questions asked by y'all. These are questions that came out of y'all's camp, so remember that.
They're good questions.
Very good questions. All right, Stephen.
Stefan.
I was going to piggyback off of Brandon and just say that, Brandon and Lee, by saying that there are plenty of secular texts, non-church historical evidence that shows that Jesus lived, and like Brandon said, the question from there is he who he says he is? So.
All right. Very good. Give it up for our panel for our
Right,
first
family
round.
feud.
Everybody kind of got through it.
Good
Obviously,
answer.
wasn't hot enough.
No, it was,
We're going to get there.
Brandon, why did you drink water then?
All right.
I was making sure it was good.
We are ready for our next hot sauce.
What's number
On
2?
the heat scale, 2 out of 10.
Hit it, Hayes. There it is.
All right, Yellowbird sauce, bliss and vinegar.
All right, we're doing this? All right, let's go. I'm feeling very confident, guys. Let's go.
Blended to a mellow burn is what it says, and it's made in Texas. And I feel like Texas knows. They know hot sauce.
That was a big bite.
Texas heat.
I made a mistake.
I'm waiting for an afterburn, maybe.
Oh, good. I like
It's a
that.
mellow burn, it says. Mellow.
It is mellow.
I would order these. I would order these.
It's very vinegary.
It's very vinegary. You're right. Wait a minute.
Ripe red, serrano, strawberries, and coconut blended to a mellow burn.
That's good.
It snuck through the back door.
Yeah. It is.
It's a little burn on the back of the throat.
It came on the back.
Do I hear that the women are stronger than the men so far? Just
It just gave the back
2 out of 10, and we already have the men complaining.
and you swallow
All right.
your own saliva. It's damaging.
All right.
Ain't looking good for the home team. I think that.
We're going to start again with Brandon. The second question that we received the most throughout the last few weeks doing this series about questions was, why do bad things happen to good people? It's a very common
Ooh,
question.
that is a very common question you get from a lot of people. I think I watch a lot of movies, things like that. That question pops up a lot. And I think the answer we have to start with that is that we have to frame the question the right way. They say, why do bad things happen to good people? What is a good person, right? What defines a good person? And we look at the Bible, which we just talked about. The Bible tells us that there's like not one good person, right? Everyone has fallen short from the glory of God. And so what happens is we end up putting our own perspectives or our idea of what a good person is and say, oh, that's a good person. Why do bad things happen to good people? And so we have to realize that there is not one perfect person on this planet. There's only one that ever walked, and that was Christ. And so there is no such thing as a good person by God's standard, which is the only standard that we have. Because if we start using other standards to define good people, and depending on, where you live or what country you live in, you would be considered a good person. By Hitler's standards, he considered himself a good person. So Christ has to set the standard of what being a good person is, and Christ tells us there is no such thing as a good person. And so bad things happen, sin is in the world, that allows sickness and death and all these different things to enter into our world for bad things to happen. But we have to understand that bad things, there's no such thing as bad things happening to good people, relative good people, but no such thing as a good person. We've all fallen short of the glory of God.
Good answer. Good answer. What do y'all think? Good answer, bad answer?
Y'all better clap for me.
Anybody have an opinion?
Doing this for y'all.
All right, does anybody else have anything to add? Kelly, Lee, Stephen?
I would say there might be the like subtext there of why did bad things happen to Christians?
Yep.
Maybe. But throughout Scripture, as Christians, we're promised that we're going to face trials of many kinds, and then if we're going to follow Jesus, then we're going to face difficulty and hardship. And so, if the question is, why do bad things happen to Christians? It's because it's promised that it will. And it's part of walking with Jesus, and it's part of growing in our faith and maturing. And sometimes it's just because we live in a crappy fallen world and there isn't like an explanation. And I don't think it does all happen for a reason, but I think that God can redeem things that are senseless and bring meaning and purpose to those things in our lives.
That's good. I'm just looking at why you think I got you.
And just to add a little bit to that, I will say that bad things happen to everybody, right? We all know people or have had bad things happen to us, either small or large. And so you have to quantify that too, like what is a bad thing? We all go through bad things. Some are really, really bad and some are minorly bad. But and so I would say that God has nothing to do with those bad things, because it says in the Bible that He is only a person of good and that He only wants good things for you. So when those things happen to you, really God has nothing to do with it. You know, we're allowed to make choices. We're allowed to live our lives free of, nobody tells us what to do. And so those things happen because we are sinful people and we live in a fallen world, but God wants to only good things for you. So when bad things happen, it has nothing to do with God and everything to do with sin. So
It's good.
Yep.
Stephen?
I would again piggyback off of Brandon and say that we're not good at all. There was something I was reading the other day too that kind of lent to this conversation, and it was that God may allow for certain things to happen in order for us to fully appreciate or understand what good is. Which is, when I read that, it was a really cool point.
Very good. So Adam couldn't know how good he had it.
Right.
Until sin entered the world, right? So then he had something to compare to, and I guess none of us really can compare to the good that Adam and Eve experienced before the fall.
It's good.
Yep.
All right.
I felt a
So,
little tingle around the lips on that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
that was a little feeling.
This ain't gonna be pretty. We got, 8 left?
All right. Oh, yeah. Let's do this. A long road ahead.
Which one is this one?
All right, number 3, Hayes. We are ready for number 3.
Has anyone eaten bread yet?
Not yet. All right, here we go.
I mean, I think I kind of.
Chattanooga, Tennessee, your everyday hot sauce. Hoss sauce.
I don't want to eat
Hoss,
bread just because I'm
Hoss
hungry.
sauce. That's like Peter Piper picked a pear, pickled peppers.
Somebody put their foot in this. It's not. It's good. Good sauce.
Y'all like number 3?
Yeah, I like that
Tasty.
one.
I like number 2.
Really?
It's a little bit hotter.
I can do with this. No, we good, sir.
Burn, it has immediate burn.
Y'all, I might just do this thing. Y'all,
All right, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to
I'm
start
feeling hopeful.
this side so Stephen can no longer piggyback off of Brandon.
Yeah, get your own ass.
By the time you get to me, yeah,
Everybody has
said it.
something to say. It's fun. Everybody has a different perspective.
Yeah, it's creeping in.
All
It's a
right.
slow one.
Number 3, going off of the last question. There are no good people. So if I'll never be as good as God, why should I even try?
Why did you start with me on this one? If I will never be as good as God, why should I try? Well, I mean, we were created in God's image. That's a start. Our purpose here on earth is to be in fellowship with God. so, of course, sin entered the world, and that messed things up. But I think ultimately it's to have that relationship with God. No, we won't be quote good enough for God, but we can be in a relationship with God while we're here.
Lee?
I would just say because think about it as a community aspect. If everybody just didn't care what kind of, it would be like the purge, right? Like nobody would be good. So obviously God's called us to a higher purpose, and your first purpose is your relationship with God, and your second purpose is getting other people in relationships with you and with God. But the easiest way to do that is to just be nice, be kind, and be a good person. And the world and your community will only be better for it, so why not?
I think everybody's looking at Brandon Laura. All right. Go ahead, Kelly.
I would say stop trying to be good. I think being good is not a good goal. I think our goal should be to be as close to Jesus as we can, and then sometimes what comes from that doesn't look good to some people. Because if we're close to Jesus, then we're going to care about issues in a way that maybe our community says is not good, or our parents think is not good, or our teacher. So there's a lot of expressions of following Jesus that maybe by our culture aren't measured as good. So I would say being good is never supposed to be our goal. I think letting Jesus make us new, like over and over and over, be made new, is and the goal of being close to Jesus. Because man, we can try really hard to be good and really miss the mark of what it means to follow Jesus. I mean, the Pharisees are such a good example of that. Like, that was their goal, to follow all the rules. And Jesus, like, comes down harder on them than anybody else because they were missing the point. So I would say change your goal.
It's good.
Oh, that's good.
I think they hit it all. So I forgot to give this announcement, so I'll use my opportunity to do this. So, time out, keep commercial time. Next week, this is our last week of I Have Questions series. Next week, we'll start a new series dealing with friendships. And so, after we get finished, because I'm pretty sure by number 10, I don't want to talk to y'all anymore, in the back, Laura will set up a table where I've ordered 200 wristbands, okay? 200, because I know y'all go through them like crazy. But if you don't have one, grab one for yourself. If you already have a few, don't just be stingy. But grab one as an invitation. I want you to grab a wristband for a friend, and I want you to invite them, give them a wristband. Hey, we're having a series next week on friendship. I would love for you to come with me. So grab one for yourself, grab one for a friend, use it as an invitation to invite them next week to our series on friendship. Cool? Cool? Y'all good? All right. Back from commercial break. You got it.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Also, my lips are starting to burn a little bit. Just want that to know. It ain't looking good for the home team, boys. I'm just telling y'all.
All right, so we're ready for number 4.
Put this here. I ain't got to. I said they did a good job. Get away from me.
What's the host's name? Lauren Holland. Get it right. All right. Los Calientes hot sauce.
Ooh.
And this is
Ooh.
the hot sauce that the First We Feast people actually made themselves. So the company that puts on the Hot One show on YouTube, they made this hot sauce. This is a 4 out of 10 on the heat scale.
That thing grabbed the little, what is it, uvula in the back of my throat?
All of them take a good, like.
It went down smooth, but it like grabbed on the way down. Like,
That's
that was wild.
yeah, it is.
Okay, doable though. We're good. I told y'all.
The flavor's good.
We're good.
It is. It's green. It's like a green chili.
Guys, I don't know why I was worried. This is easy. This is light work.
My throat.
I'm from Louisiana. We do hot things, okay? Asian food, crawfish bowls. We do this on a regular basis. I'm good.
I'm not there yet.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm sure you are.
I am good.
Yeah. You know, I'm also from Louisiana.
Oh, you are. You see, girl, you got this in your blood. I'm telling you. They
All right, number 4, question 4. What is the purpose of worship? Stephen,
Oh, yeah.
as
Go
the
ahead,
worship pastor, we're going to start with you.
Well, hold on, let me take a sip.
Nah, son.
It's got the afterburn, right?
I knew no one would be able to do it without water.
I really like to piggyback, so I'm going to piggyback off myself.
How do you?
This time, just
How
watch.
do you piggyback off
Watch
yourself?
this happen. So again, we were designed to be in fellowship with God. There are many ways that we're able to do that through prayer, through studying scripture, corporate worship. We are designed to worship. And in the sense of, I think what we're talking about, the corporate worship, where we're thinking of the Wednesday night or Sundays where we're all singing. That to me that's an overflow of everything that we're already doing throughout the week. That is putting all of the worth into God, and that's difficult for us because we put a lot of worth in ourselves. But worship is truly putting every bit of worth into God, and just that communication, that our heart communicating with the heart of the Lord. That is true worship. And I think it gets confusing with what that looks like culturally, with what to do while we're standing there, and everybody wants to, really and truly do what makes you comfortable. This is your intimate time with God. So yeah, that's all I got.
That's good.
It's really hot.
Good.
My lips are
All right,
they feel
ladies.
fat.
I would say that worship, to me, I was taught at a very young age that worship wasn't about me, but it was about God, and that it was about me saying to God, especially corporate worship, taking that, 30 minutes on Sunday morning or 20 minutes, whatever it is, to say thank you for just walking the week with me. And so it's really not about me. It's really just about, telling him thank you and talking to him. And honestly, from doing that, I end up feeling so much better, because if I focus not on what I look like or what it feels like or what other people might think I look like, but just about what God feels about me in that moment and having that community with me at that time. So that's it.
My lips feel swollen.
Oh no.
Are they swelling?
Nah, you good, girl.
Turn the lights off.
It's warm. It's starting to get
A little
warm.
hot.
It's hot. It's hot up here. I would say that worship is responding to who God is. And also, I think there are times when we just need to be reminded of the truth. And so I think a lot of times it's just like declaring who God is, because sometimes it's hard to believe it, right? I think for me, a lot of times it's just responding to who God is, but also reminding myself who God is and declaring that he is good and that he's faithful and that he has a good plan, whether it feels like it right now or not.
Pretty much. I'll answer the question. The chicken, by the way, I forgot to tell y'all this. The chicken's job is to be like your surrender bell. So you can quit,
Oh,
but
no,
you gotta
you
squeeze
can't.
the chicken before you
no,
quit.
no, we don't quit
Because you're a
here.
chicken. Does that make sense?
No quitters allowed in this church.
Listen, if you can't handle it, just squeeze the chicken. You got it. Yeah. I think they did a great job of answering worship. For me, worship is a way for me to speak words even if I'm not feeling them right now. That makes sense. So sometimes worshiping God, if I'm doubting or struggling or hurting, sometimes I'm singing worship songs. It's an affirmation for me to help me remember the things that I'm saying, right? Saying that, God, you're good. God, you're faithful. God, you will come and find me even when I don't feel like you're there. So worship for me is affirmation a lot of times of letting go of the horrible things in my life that are going on. I really don't want... Oh. I don't want to go to number 5.
Okay, grab the garbage can if you need
No,
to.
we're good. I don't want to go to
Okay.
number 5 just yet.
All right.
It's getting to the point now to where your lips don't want to touch because
Yeah.
of, like the heat.
You're spreading it.
Guys, this bag 5 is about to be fun. This is number 5. We still got 6
All right,
more to
number
go.
5. We're ready for number
Okay.
5.
All righty. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, revolutionary, roasted bell and scorpion. Wow. Is scorpion a pepper?
Don't smell it, just eat it.
It is. All of you spicy connoisseurs out there. Be fearless, hotheads, official, revolutionary. Roasted bell and scorpion, delicious, rebellious, and beautiful. It is 5 out of 10 on the heat scale.
So that's the one.
It's opening my nose a little bit, that one.
That's it.
If you have a sinus headache, come take a step.
That thing came in there late. It's late. Oh!
It's hot.
Oh! Hey, we're just watching over. Come on, we gotta go.
All right, let's take our time.
Sweating.
We're gonna let the ladies answer this question first. This happens to be my personal favorite. Don't swallow. Watch your eyes. I have to tell you to watch your eyes.
Spit is like 5.
I have a note here that says, tell them to watch their eyes. Do not touch your face.
Good, son.
We're good.
All right, ladies. As a Christian, how do I navigate middle school and high school? Dating, sports, friendships.
Were you saying middle school and high school sucks, or the chicken?
All of
Yes.
them.
It only gets worse from here.
Stephen, you're red.
I think it helps. We're all crying for you. Middle school and high school is hard.
So hard.
It's so hard. It can be really sucky,
Yep, sure can. Sucks. Middle school is terrible.
but it's not forever, right? Like the good news is that it's not forever. There is life after, and it looks really different. And usually, like the popular people, they're not as cute a few years later. I mean, everybody moves on. So like, it's always good to bring that back to mind, that it's not forever. I would say be curious. Like,
Brandon is on the struggle.
So we need to have a moment of prayer. Is it that hot?
We got 5 more to go. We're good. Let's go. Nah, I'm good. Let's go.
he's good. We're good. I would say be curious. I'm having a hard time talking.
Watch your eyes.
Be curious. I would say, like, be curious about other people, like, in the world, in your classrooms. Like, get to know somebody. Try to have a perspective outside of right now.
Yeah.
The world is much bigger than New Hope, Mississippi.
Facts.
And life is much bigger than
Facts.
just middle school and high
Amen.
school.
Facts.
Hang in there. We get that it's hard. Ask for help when you need help. We're here. Because we all survived it and we know it's really hard at times. So.
Amen.
Just to add a tiny bit of that to that, people don't look back at middle school and say those were the best years of my life. Literally nobody does.
Unless they're losers as adults.
That's Brandon, are you okay?
So, you just have to get through it,
Listen.
Have good friends and be a good friend. Be kind to people even when they're not kind to you, but mostly you just have to get through it. And then high school gets a little better. Especially like 11th, 12th grade, that's even better. College is way even better. That's when you really find your tribe and people who you vibe with and who really get you. And then it honestly just keeps getting better and better as you get to know yourself better and what you're willing to have in your life as far as relationships go and stuff. But I would just say, experience it for what it is, but know that it's not the best time of your life for sure.
All right, Brandon.
Also, it's kind of like these hot wings. It just kind of gets worse and worse.
Facts.
And then when it's over.
And then it's better at the end.
Bro, it's migrating. The spice is alive. It's moving.
All right, Brandon, what advice do you have for these wonderful young men
All right,
in
so-
our audience?
All right, here we go. Gotta talk for a second, all right? We're men. We eat hot stuff, all right? Focus. Middle school and high school, and I'll try to tell you this a lot from a student pastor perspective. is that like, I know it's a big deal because you're living it, but in the grand scheme of life, it's not a big deal. Right? When you graduate high school, you will, except for those weirdos, majority of us will move on and forget everything about high school, right? And I'm not talking about the memories, but like the social circles, you know, the bullying, all that stuff seems like such a big deal in high school, but when you move away from it, it goes away. The things that seem so massive are so small. So when you're in middle school and high school, try to keep that in mind. High school is not the end goal. Being a senior in high school is not the end, right? Your life only begins after you walk across that stage. And so being a Christian there is, don't feel so pressured to be so popular and so pressured by the in crowd that you give up your morals and you give up the things that you know are right to be true and to be good and to make you a great Christian. Don't give those things up for the sake of fitting in to a group that will disperse the day you walk across the stage. Does that make sense? So don't allow the pressure that you're walking in at this current time to make you make decisions that will affect you for the rest of your life spiritually because of you're searching for temporary satisfaction. And Stephen, please be quick. We gotta go. We gotta move, Stephen.
What was the question?
I don't remember.
We're talking about.
I don't remember.
How do I navigate middle school and high school as a Christian?
Licking your lips
Am I talking
makes
to
it
the
worse.
boys?
Yes, boys.
Okay.
Please don't talk to the girls about this.
Yeah, I would be able to tell you anything.
Wanna get his ice
But boys, I would say
No,
start now at being men. And by that I mean just having honor, respecting women, showing respect, and I'm sorry, this is really hot.
It's the last serious
It's like
question.
I'm
Just keep
thinking-
moving. Last serious question.
Respecting women, and don't put being a Christ follower on the back burner. You know, that's something that whenever I was in middle school and high school, that was one of the things that was just like, oh, okay, I can do that later. You know, and I'll do that sort of thing whenever I get older. Right now I want to have fun, and I can tell you right now, as an adult, this is the. I'm sorry, I'm wrapping it up.
Stephen, come on,
I'm
man.
trying to piece these words
Land the
together.
plane,
I can
Stephen.
tell you right now. I can tell you, as a Christ follower now, this is the fun part. So, yeah, that's it. Move on.
All right, really quick, rapid fire. Go down the row, starting with Brandon. What is the age that you think?
Is this before or after?
Oh, before. No, this is before. This is part of number 5, part 2 of number 5. What is the age that you think it is appropriate for a girl and a boy to start dating?
Oh gosh.
You knew I was going to bring it up. I have very strong opinions about this, but
This is so easy for me. Are you ready? No, I'm going first. I have teenagers.
You
This
do.
is what I say.
You do.
When you can pay to date somebody, you can pick them up in the vehicle that you pay for. You can have a girlfriend.
There you go. Shut up.
all right, Brandon.
I've already told Emery she can't date till she turns 35. So, not your Emery, mine. My
Mine too.
5-month-old is not allowed to date until she's married. So there's that. I honestly think dating should be you training or learning how to be a young man or a young woman that is going to court your spouse, right? So if you're just in middle school, you have no desires to get married, or you shouldn't. Lord, hope you don't. And so at that point, I think you're just wasting time and creating spaces for your heart to be broken, and creating spaces for things to hurt. So I think high school is definitely a good starting spot, but it's also a person-to-person basis too. Because if you're an immature 11th grader, you don't need to be dating anybody's child, right? Like, you're only going to cause more hurt and more pain. The worst thing you can do is to take, if you're a guy, take a young lady. If you're a young lady, take a guy, and to twist them and ruin them for their future relationships and their future spouse, right? And so if your only intention is to get selfish things out of it, if your only intentions is to just string that person along because they look cute when pictures on Instagram. They gonna, and they'll help you get likes. Don't do it. Only date when you're ready to begin your horizons on marriage, right? That has to be the end goal. So that's my answer on it. When you're old enough to begin to start thinking about marriage and thinking about preparing yourself for marriage, that should be dating. Before that, you just waste each other's time and you're just doing it because everybody else is doing it anyway. Girls have cooties, guys have cooties, stay away from each other.
Yeah. And
Amen.
understanding what love is and what that even means. Because I can almost guarantee that at this age, you have no idea what that is. It's just a feeling. Yeah, it is a romance movie. True love is something that you develop. That it's just a maturity. It is a understanding of what real love is, and that is the love of Jesus. And when you understand that, I think then you can truly know how to love another.
It's good.
That's
Hey,
good.
that bread looking really good right now.
All right, Kelly, do you have anything to add?
Give yourself the opportunity to see the world, travel, live abroad, have your own apartment, like live independently, have fun, figure out who you are, figure out what you like. There's no rush, there's no hurry. And I think dating for most people just fast forwards you on the get married young track. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but got a lot of time. And I loved the years that I spent living in other countries by myself, exploring, learning. There's no hurry. Be friends. I would say be friends with everybody. Be friends with guys, be friends with girls. Yeah, if there's pressure, try to figure out where the pressure is coming from. Are you putting pressure on yourself? Are your peers putting pressure on you? Is it from social media? But there's no rush. You got time, and there's like so much world out there to explore.
It's good.
And you don't have to have somebody to do it with you.
You don't?
You don't.
True.
All right, so,
Tough questions over?
yeah,
Good.
tough questions over.
This is about to
Tough
get
questions
fun.
over.
Somebody get wicked, all
We're
right?
on to funny questions now.
Wait. Lauren, you forgot. There's an empty chair next to us.
Yes. I was just about to get to it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I appreciate the co-hosting.
You're welcome.
I didn't prepare for this.
Sit down.
It's weird that y'all are raising your hands.
Sit down, son.
What are you I haven't even said anything. So, now that we're on to the funny questions, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, we're going to allow someone from the audience to participate.
Several.
One
We'll rotate them out.
person-
We'll rotate them.
Yeah, we're going to rotate you out.
Sit there.
One
You stand
gonna
up.
get
We got you, son.
one hot wing per person.
I'll pick the first one. Let me get the first one.
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Let me get young Drewski up here. Come on, Drew. Get up here.
I can almost guarantee if you're standing up,
feel like Drew needs to go
saying
through
me,
this thing.
me, you're not going to get picked. Just know that for the next round.
Sit down, Drew. Oh, Drew, by the way, that's 6. So just so you know.
Yes, please.
Yeah, he's going to answer. Yeah, you up here, you got to answer the question with us.
All right.
That's part of it.
Number 6. Hey,
That's
put it on the
what you're
screen.
Yeah, you should be, Drew.
That's serious looking. Super serious. That's like typewriter font. So it says,
6, yeah.
who can speak Spanish?
Megan, tell them what it says. I
I know what the bottom part says. I can read English. I just wanted you to pronounce the top. Or if someone can roll their R's. I
What
cannot
word
do
you
that.
chose?
Senor Lechos.
All right.
Lechuga.
Adobo, black lime, and ghost pepper. Ghost pepper.
Wait.
All right, number 6.
Oh, wait on it, Drew. Wait on it, Drew. Oh, I hit it. Wait on it, Drew.
That was on spell.
It's like, they come through the back door. They come
All
through
right,
the back
Drew,
door.
how do you feel?
Yeah, he's about to catch it. It ain't terrible though.
Someone describe it to me.
It's like having multiple cuts inside of your mouth. There. Am I right? Like you have like all of these cuts, and it's just stinging.
It hurts to breathe. When you breathe, it gets worse.
It doesn't even taste good, it's just hot.
Suffocates.
All right. Okay, question number 6. It's a toughie. Are you ready? Drew, is it starting to bother you? See your eyes welling up? Yeah.
That boy
All
ate
right.
like he ain't ate today. I don't know what's wrong
This
with
was
him.
an actual question. If you are in the audience and you submitted this question, just quietly raise your hand.
My chest is burning.
Did Adam and Eve have a belly button?
Let Drew go first. Explain yourself.
No, there was no cord. They didn't have one. I don't know how to say it. There was no umbilical cord.
All right, why didn't they have an umbilical cord? We all have had umbilical cords. We all have belly buttons.
They didn't come out of a womb.
Good answer. Give it up for Drew. All right,
Can we keep
Drew.
that?
Thank you very much.
Where you going, Drew?
He's got to get some water. All right, would anybody else like to add their
feel like-
opinion on Adam and Eve's umbilical
I feel like
cord
you can't
and
beat
belly
that.
button?
I think that's good right there, right?
Yeah. I don't think we all have to say no.
I think that's good, right?
All right. All right, everybody give it up for Drew one more time.
Hey, that wasn't terrible though. I think 5 was worse than 6.
Really?
I think 5 worse than 6.
5 was worse. All right. We have a vacant chair again.
We'll get in here.
All right,
We
we're
got any
gonna
girls
let
over
Miss Kelly pick. We're gonna let Miss Kelly pick
Kelly,
as
get a girl up here.
the host. Stella, go Stella!
Stella.
All right,
Hot stuff.
now this question.
Wait, we gotta eat first, don't we?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Put it up there, Hayes.
All right, Hayes, number 7. Chile like something de fuego. I don't speak Spanish, obviously.
I'm not
I
gonna
just know
hold
Fuego because we went to Camp Fuego. And if you didn't go to Camp Fuego, you're a loser. Yeah, why didn't you? What were you doing?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
All right, 7 out of 10. Tell me what it tastes like. Lee, read what's on the bottle.
It's sweet.
Something fire.
Chili jalapeno, smoked garlic, Trinidad scorpion, bitter orange, Scotch bonnet, chocolate ghost.
Scotch
Got
bun.
chocolate in here?
It's gross. Forget that it's hot. It tastes gross.
All right.
All right, 7 out of
We're
10.
making it through 10, guys.
Okay.
We're
Now,
making it.
I would just like to preface this next question with
Who?
answer quickly.
Who? Who?
It's so gross.
Oh no.
Steven.
Yeah.
We're going to start with you, but you must answer quickly.
Okay.
Do aliens exist?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know.
It's got the tongue. Oh no.
Watch your eyes. All right, Kelly Lee. Do aliens exist?
It's possible.
Who cares?
So much involuntary saliva.
You like it, Stella?
Get out of here.
Don't eat anymore.
Stella, do aliens exist?
You're inside.
No, because it's like a myth.
What do you mean it's a myth?
The tip of my tongue.
Do we accept Stella's answer?
Yeah! All right, Brandon, do aliens exist?
I'll keep it a bean with you. I
Takes one to know one.
think, I don't know. I mean, I think it's hard to put limits on God. I feel like if he wants to make a whole, some other people out there, my tongue hurts.
I agree.
Then he can, I am hurting. I just confirmed that.
Brandon, this is rapid
There's
fire.
definitely weird things.
I'm sorry.
Stephen, anything you want to add to that? I'm a little disappointed in your answer,
No.
considering that you have UFO on VHS.
Okay, you didn't ask. You asked if I thought aliens existed. I don't know. That's my answer.
Okay.
UFOs, yeah, it's proven.
Like the military has stuff on.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I don't know what kind of craft it is.
Okay. Stella, you still okay over there? You sure?
Stella, get off my stage, bro. Get out here. Tell them
Are you tough?
It tastes good. Get out of here.
Tougher than everybody else up here. All right, everybody, give it up for Stella!
Put her nasty chicken bone back on the plate. Put your hands down. Still let Steven get one? Or Lee, you get you
All
one.
right, Lee.
Lee, get you another girl, Lee.
We're almost done. Round 8.
Get you a high school girl.
Yay, let's go.
That's 8.
All right, number 8.
You want to roll?
You ain't gonna eat the
The
whole thing.
Bomb Evolution
Hey,
Hot
this is it.
Sauce.
It's about to get bad, boys. It's about to get bad.
All right, this is where it really turns a corner.
This is where it turns a corner?
Yeah. This is where it turns a corner.
Don't eat the whole thing. Your inside is never going to be the same.
You don't even know how he looks like.
Bro, pull apart what you doing so you embarrassing us.
All right.
Oh, skin.
So bad.
Ooh.
Is it bad, Megan? It tastes bad?
And it's freaking
Nasty.
hot.
Ooh.
She's still too.
All right.
Give me some more water. Give me a roll.
Where is the ice cream? My eyes are watering.
All right. For this next one, we're going to get up out of our seats for a second.
We're gonna get out of our seats.
Yeah, everybody get up out of your seats. Megan, feel free. Y'all spread out. Whatever you need to do. All right. Question 8. Really quickly, just go down the list and tell me your favorite animal. Favorite animal. Brandon, favorite animal.
A platypus.
Megan, favorite animal. A tiger. All right. Kelly.
Whales.
What is it?
Whales.
Whales. Lee.
My Australian Shepherd Oatmeal.
What?
My Australian Shepherd named Oatmeal.
Oatmeal. Okay. All right, Stephen, a reindeer.
Dragon.
Okay. All right, Hayes, do we have our 10-second timer? Do we have a tiger, a platypus, a whale, oatmeal, the Australian Shepherd, and we have a dragon? For the next 10 seconds, you have to act like your favorite animal. All right, we're going to count. And we don't have a timer. We're having technical difficulties. We are going to count down for our panel as they act out their favorite animal. Okay, so on the count of 3, start counting 10, 9, 8. Okay, or we can do 5 minutes.
I can't touch my face.
All right, never mind. All right, go! You can't even say that word. We're at church. Hellfire, hot sauce, cranked, extreme black garlic reaper sauce. All right, Emery. Here. Hellfire. All right, number 9. Number 9. Are y'all ready to eat number 9?
Go, man, let's go!
All right, go. Eat it, eat it, eat it. Hellfire, cranked. Don't touch your eyes, Emery. Don't touch your eyes.
Get it down, you volunteer.
I can't even feel it.
Emery, you got it. No. All right, most embarrassing moment. Most embarrassing moment. Somebody just go. This does not count, and neither does acting like a platypus or a whale.
I got a rebound in a basketball game, and then I scored a point for the wrong team.
Oh, it's trying to.
That's hilarious. All right, most embarrassing moment, Emery. I know yours. Tell it. Tell it. I'll tell it.
Okay, go right now.
Go, Steven.
Oh.
Most embarrassing moment. Lee.
I've had so many, but I don't embarrass you, so I just.
Mama.
Emery, go. Brandon, you want your mama? All right, Emery, come on. You couldn't just eat that wing for free. You got to tell a story. Most embarrassing moment. Emery, you have ice
They
cream.
eat cold box. No, Emery, not the ice cream. Emery, no. Emery, no.
Emery, tell your most embarrassing moment.
Ain't no more.
Tripping when?
You came up here. You gotta say it.
Steven, you want to tell Emery's most embarrassing moment?
No, I do not.
You don't think I should? Brandon. Most embarrassing moment, Brandon, now, go.
All right, I got one. All right, so the summer before I came here, I can't believe I'm telling the story, maybe because I'm high on wing sauce. All right, so I was at a school, it was a football camp at a big school in Louisiana, and our whole staff was there. And the O-line section had just finished, so I was coaching O-line stuff, and so I used the bathroom. So I go into the main building, like the main athletic building, and you know, we all have just gassy moments, right? And so I'm trying to go up the elevator to find a bathroom, and on the elevator there's nobody here. I'm like, this building is empty, the lights are off. I just let one out, right? I just let it out. It was disgusting. As the doors open, there's 3 college kids standing there. And I'm like, oh no, they're about to walk into this elevator. And so I got off and I started walking down the hall very, very fast. And as I walk down the hall, all I hear is, oh my God! Oh my God! I just kept walking. Like I didn't even turn around. I was like, I gotta go. Legend, you can't come up here and touch the bread. Get off the stage, bro. Legend, what are you doing? This man came to the bread. I'm getting lightheaded. Who said that? There's more in the freezer.
I can't think of one of mine, but I'm going to tell you my sister's because it was hilarious. My sister had a really bad accident when she was 21 years old, and 9 of her teeth were knocked out of her head in a car accident. So y'all drive carefully. But anyway, so she has false teeth. We were in a bargain hunt store one time, and she had just got her false teeth. She's 21 years old. And she was walking through the store, and she sneezed really hard, and her teeth went flying out into the store. And my sister and I were laughing so hard we couldn't help her. And she ran as fast as she could and picked them up. Y'all, it was a bargain hunt, okay? Y'all know how gross those places are. She didn't even rinse them off. She just stuck them right back in her mouth. And we literally died. We
That was
laugh about
pre-COVID,
that to this day.
obviously.
That's
Hey, the ice helps.
I need
All right,
ice. Where is
Steven,
ice?
most embarrassing moment.
I really don't know. I don't know.
It's like a reward.
The Hollands are really disappointing me this
Yeah,
round.
y'all like, get off the stage.
What was
Get off the stage.
Brandon, you...
Don't come up here that you're gonna comply with the.
passed
Get off the
gas.
stage.
The
bro.
faster
Get-
you tell the story, the faster we eat number 10, the faster this
Okay,
is over.
I mean, I peed on myself in second grade. So that was embarrassing. If I'm just trying to get through this. It was second grade.
All right. Emery, most embarrassing moment. You need
Tell the
to
whole
tell a
story right now. Tell the whole thing right now.
Okay. Paper Stella.
No, come on, she's gonna tell it.
I was on the bus and I tripped there.
Why? How'd you trip? What'd you trip on?
My shoelaces were tied together.
Who tied? Who tied your shoelaces together?
Her. She tied them together herself.
Listen, my lips on fire. If you don't stop laughing, tell the story right now. Right now. Stop laughing right now.
So Emery decided to tie her own shoelaces
I
together.
told it already.
And whenever she got off the bus, she tripped and fell and face planted into our gravel driveway. So the bus driver said, "Oh my gosh, Emery, are you okay?" Oh, I got some in my eyes. No. Spit some over here. Steven?
Get off the stage.
Give me ice.
And the bus driver said, "Emery, who did that? They're gonna get in trouble." And she said, "I did it to myself." All right. All right, we've got one more left. Wait, I was okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to do this.
All right, we've got number 10, Hayes. All right, he beat me.
Wait.
It is called.
Wait, what's your name?
I'm Tanner Sims.
Tanner Sims. Welcome to the show, Tanner. You can't
Tanner, have you ever come to church here before?
This your first time?
The youth group, yeah.
Heard that. First time in the
okay.
youth group. Well,
Yeah, good for
hey,
you.
Are we doing the last
Wait.
dab though?
Yeah.
Are we doing the last dab tradition?
All right. Does anybody know what is it called? The Scoville level or something?
Scoville.
Scoville level?
Just pour a little bit. 2 million
Yes.
plus?
So the last dab is 2 million plus on that level. 2 million.
Yo, I'm ruining my palate.
The one that you just ate, I think, was only like 200,000.
My lips
What?
Yeah.
are burning.
The last dab. It made Shaq cry and throw up if you've watched that
How
episode.
big of bites are y'all gonna take?
Shaq
Y'all put more, are you putting the last dab on there though?
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal cried and then threw up.
Give it here. Give it here. Y'all put
Correct.
some on there though. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, if you've ever watched the show on YouTube Hot Ones, a ceremonial thing that they do at the end is they put a dab of the 10th hot
Come on,
sauce
Steven. We already
on their chicken before they eat it.
You already put it on.
Yes, it's already been shaped in
dab on
it,
top of it.
but you have to dab it on top. It's called the last dab.
Let's go, Steven. Let's go, Steven. Let's give it up for Steven. Let's go, Steven.
All right, come on.
Pass it down here, Steven. That's what I'm talking about. This is a man down.
That's like a real dab.
That's
Like,
a dab.
Yeah, we doing it.
I'm not doing that.
all right, I need the entire audience to show me what a dab is.
This for you, Paul. This is for you, Paul. All this.
All right, what's your name again? Tanner.
Tell your
Tanner.
mom that I did
Okay.
not make you do this.
This child.
Do you think you'll ever come back?
We'll find out.
All right.
Don't eat the whole thing. Don't eat the whole
Do you have any lawyers in your family?
All right, Brandon.
Anything we should be concerned
The
about?
outside of my lips are burning now.
Are your parents lawyers, Tanner? No. Okay. Aunts, uncles, lawyers,
All right,
anybody
let's
you
do
know?
it.
Okay.
Hey, y'all gotta applaud us though. We do this though. Y'all gotta start clapping, people.
All right, you ready?
All right, 1, 2, 3, go!
Put a lot on.
work on it.
It's okay right now. No, it's not. Don't swallow. We're in But it's so bad.
Delay.
It feels like I can feel it in my chest.
Oh my god.
I ain't got it yet.
Get it up, Brandon.
It goes all the way down. I can feel the side of my throat it went down.
Calm down.
Swallow, because that's when it gets real.
All right. So our very last question.
Maybe nothing happened.
So as you all cry right now, tell me,
Do you think
what movie makes you cry every time you watch it? What movie makes you cry every time you watch it?
Apollo 13? No. Armageddon.
Armageddon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Such a good movie.
Does anybody cry with Armageddon? Anybody cry? No? Have you ever even seen Armageddon? Yeah. All right. Lee, Kelly, Tanner, Brandon.
Pursuit of Happiness for me.
Pursuit of
Come on,
Happiness.
Will
Never
Smith.
seen it.
Will Smith up here just clapping for no. Come on, man. Oh, it's
Anybody
hitting
seen
now.
Pursuit of Happiness?
Oh, this is hitting.
Okay. All right, Tanner.
Definitely remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. Anybody else cry when they watch Remember the Titans? All right. Yeah.
Get away from me.
Wonder makes me cry. Lion King makes me cry. Not whenever his father gets killed. It's whenever he gets lifted up at the beginning of the movie. That's whenever I cry.
A dog's purpose.
All right, Kelly, Lee, movies that make you cry every time you watch it. Up, okay. I've never seen that entire movie. I'm afraid to watch it because I know that's going to be that.
I cried right at the beginning, right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's their like pretty sweet love story.
All right, Lee, movie that makes you cry.
Saving Private Ryan.
All right, everybody give it up for our brave panel. All right, and for participating tonight, each of you are going home with your very own roll of toilet paper. The bathroom. That's your prize. Hey, sit down. What are y'all doing? Sit.
Get out of here.
Go sit. All right, as a reminder, Serve Day is this Saturday. Meet us in the basement at 8 a.m. We will have breakfast. If you love Jesus, you would be there at 8 a.m. Jesus is more important than anything else you have to do. If you don't show up, we're going to pour this on your eyeballs.
Oh my gosh.
All right, also,
Go ahead.
as we dismiss, please
Listen.
make sure that you grab a bracelet. What would Jesus do bracelet? Hey, we're not dismissing.
Sit down.
down. I have a microphone, and I will just keep talking.
Oh.
I'll give y'all roll. Here you go.
All right. Laura's at the back table, and she's going to be handing out the bracelets. If you already have multiple, please do not be selfish and greedy. Also,
Oh, God.
remember, take one for yourself if you need one. Take one for a friend. Use it as an invite to next
Lord.
Wednesday when we start our series on
Lord.
friendship.
It was a terrible idea.
Yeah,
Oh, I
pretty
hate my life.
excited.
Oh. Hey, listen, we love y'all. The things that we do to entertain y'all makes me sick.
All right, give it up one more time for all of our panel. Sit down.
Those peppers are
All right, hey, ladies first, go get a bracelet. We love you.
Don't
out of here.